Maybe I'm fucking recording it and shit. Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, y'all. Welcome back to the OS Rick project, episode number 40. Guys, can you believe this? I think I started the project back in June. 40 weeks in, guys. Did I miss? I might have missed a couple. I don't know. Anyway, guys, how are y'all? Hope you're doing well. I want to say thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Whether you're at work, on your way to work, or you're working out, I want to say thank you for listening. I appreciate you guys are the best. Thank you so much. Let's get right into it, guys. How are y'all? How was y'all's week? What did y'all do? What did y'all play? Mine not too bad. Work has been super busy this week. Um, I live over here, in the Texas Gulf Coast, Houston Baytown area, and everything up north last week was super frozen. So a lot of stuff didn't come in. So it's coming down this week. So it's been super heavy, but work aside, it's been fine. It's been okay. I've been keeping it under control. Doing my best not to let work stress me out and stuff like that, and just enjoying what I have here at the house. It's all about putting everything in perspective, right, guys? Because at the end of the day, you got to remember, you got to come home to your family and just unwind and decompress and just leave that stuff at the door. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much been work for me, so I don't want to get into that. Gaming, a lot of Guilty Gear, lots of Guilty Gear, Guilty Gear, Guilty Gear, Guilty Gear. Been having a blast. I've been bouncing between. I actually got to floor 10, 9. I think I'm like at 8 right now. But I've been bouncing around either between floors 8, 9, and 10. Like I go to 10, and I feel like I don't belong here, and obviously I don't, right? Because I can't stay there. I keep getting knocked out, but it feels like I'm impressed that I'm able to get to floor 10. I'm really surprised, and you could tell, my friends that I play with, Viet and Doogie, they're way better players than I am. And they're telling me that I'm starting to make some improvements. My gameplay is getting better. I'm actually getting closer to getting some rounds off of them. So that feels good, putting in a whole bunch of work. And I've been playing as Leo, guys. Leo Whitefang. I originally started off with Kai Kiske, and I had fun with him, but I mean, he was very much, like you're you know, uh, like he's like a, if you were to try to make any connections with Street Fighter, he'd be like a Shoto character. He'd be kind of like Ken or Ryu, a jack of all trades, well-rounded character. And I tried him for a minute, and I had fun, but it just wasn't clicking with me. Like I was still in that whole Street Fighter mentality on the way I was using him, and I gotta remember that that's not how you play Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is a whole different animal. Yes, they're both fighting games, but when you boil down the flow of the game, the mechanics, using when to use your supers, the positioning of your opponent when you have them on the wall, whether you're mid screen. It's so many factors in that game, and I've been really enjoying it because, like I said, I don't play Street Fighter 5 as much anymore. It's been several months since I played the game, and at this point, I've had my ups and downs with Street Fighter 5. But looking back on it, I do like that game a lot. I had more great times than I had bad times with it, And the only bad I had with it was the way Capcom handled a lot of it. But you guys already know that story. So with Street Fighter 5 already in my rearview mirror, Street Fighter 6 out on the horizon sometime in early June. So I'm looking forward to that for the next title, for the next Street Fighter mainline title to come out. So to fill in that niche, I have to. Well, it's not really a niche. It's to fill in that role of a fighting game is Guilty Gear, and Guilty Gear right now for me is firing on all freaking 6 cylinders. I'm loving it. And I'll admit, guys, when I first got into Guilty Gear, I was still in this limbo between Street Fighter and Guilty Gear, so I never really gave it its fair shake and sat down with it because Street Fighter was always still was still my main fighting game. But now that I'm not playing that game anymore, five. I've been able to sit down with Guilty Gear and just really focus. And ever since I started playing as Leo Whitefang, the game just opened up a lot more. I didn't think that character was gonna click with me since he had some of these charge mechanics, and I didn't think charge mechanics would really work in this game, but it's a lot faster compared to Street Fighter. And the thing, at the end of the day, though, he's even though he has these charge moves, he's still a very much a rush down character. He's in your face, hitting big buttons, getting you with left right mix up overheads and down low, and has really good the way his combos work. I've been really enjoying it, and just using the red Roman cancel to extend these combos and put more damage out there. I'm enjoying it, and even just kind of going to the lab training mode and just trying out different things. Well, okay, let me try this. Let me try this combo in in the middle of the stage to see if I could get a corner carry. Let's try some combos in the corner to see if I could get some wall breaks, and then whether I use a super to get the I say super, whether I use an overdrive move to get the wall break, which will give me a safe jump in or give me an oki and stuff like that. And I've been enjoying it. It's been super fun, and I'm very fortunate, guys, that when I stream the game, I have my friends come out and they watch me play, and they even play with me. And like I said, playing with Viet and Doogie, and being able to chit chat with other friends that also play Colonel and Tofu and all of them. It's been really fun. My boy GDB, we always hang out and we talk about the game, and I tell them too when I'm playing the game, like, guys, call me out. What am I doing wrong? I mean, the only way I'm gonna get better if you guys show me my mistakes, because if I keep doing the same thing, I'm not gonna improve. And I'm fortunate in that aspect, guys, because I know that when you're trying to learn a fighting game and if you have no one to play with and all you go is online and you just get your ass handed to you, it's not fun. I understand that. I've been there. I know what it feels like. But when you have someone to give you feedback, that just makes it that much more better. And me being on Discord more, having my little Discord community and having the guys go on there to come, they'll even come in during my stream and they'll talk to me about the matches, and it like I said, again, guys, it's just been really fun. Guilty Gear, like I said, I didn't play it all that much during season one, but season two, I'm more invested into the game. Still, guys, I have not purchased the season two character pass for the game, so I'm still waiting. I did buy the first one, but after everything was revealed and season two was already underway, I had to wait till I saw the characters that I wanted, and unfortunately, there was no characters that I wanted in this character pass. I saw Gold Lewis Dickinson, Happy Chaos, Jacko. I saw them. I haven't tried them out. I've been sticking with Leo, but none of them interest me. But the thing is, once I saw all these characters were revealed, and I saw that the season one went on discount. It wasn't much of a discount, but it was still a discount. I felt a lot better purchasing it than I did, day one with the $100 super deluxe version when you don't know what you're getting. And I've been there before. Okay, I was there with Street Fighter Five. I mean, I bought the game. I got the first wave of character pass, the season one character pass, not knowing who was out. And you know what? I've learned my lesson. That's why when Street Fighter 6 is going to be released, I just plan on getting the base game. And then if they have characters that I really want to play with, and then I'll pick them up along the way, or I'll wait for the character pass to go on discount. So pacing myself, guys, pacing myself. I'm learning, like I said, even though I'm getting older as a gamer, I'm still learning things, and trying to get out these habits that I had when I was younger. Let these companies earn my money. Don't just blindly give it away. And it's easier said than done, right? And especially when you have a franchise that you love, mine being Street Fighter. That's I've just dived in head first into that franchise. So I'm trying to do things different with the next game. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Guilty Gear, Strive, and I think they said they had another character that was going to be announced or released. It was going to be released in late March, but I think it got pushed back to early April. So we'll see. We still don't know who it is. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for that. If there's one character I want to try out, and everybody has told me, Rick, this character might be for you, is Slayer. So we'll see when what comes out next. So Also, Sin Kiske. He was the latest character to be revealed. He looks interesting. I might pick him up along the way. Again, we'll wait. But yeah, it's just been that game that I've been playing. I did play a little bit of Monster Hunter. Oh, I did get the PC. You guys see it right here? You can't see it right now. But I did get that second PC up and running. I'm using just a. I'm not. I just got the locked version of Windows, but other than that though, like the computer's up and running. I gotta really test it to really see what it's about. But so far so good. I just leave the settings when I was playing Monster Hunter. I leave the settings on just average. The only thing I move is I would change the frames per second to 122. That's about it. I could leave it at 60, but I just well, let me try 120 frames, right? The more the better. So I've been just doing that. Um, when I move the settings too high, I do hear the RPMs on the GPU really start to crank. I mean, it's I think starts just you really hear it. So I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, does the decibels, does that sound from the fans, is that a distraction when it comes to playing or no? Because I mean, it's going to be subjective, right? Different people have it set for different ways. Some people probably want the fans to be, running super low. Some of them probably don't even hear it over the game. Maybe some people always have the fans just to constantly maxed out just to have performance, because maybe they're either just playing the room gets warm, or they're constantly just, or maybe they're just overclocking their components in their PC. It's gonna vary, right? Me mostly, I want to keep the tower as silent as, I mean, I want it to be running. That's good for the system to keep it cool and efficient, but not too much where it's going to distract me from the game. So that's where it's at right now. It gets a little high sometimes when I change the when I move the graphic settings too high. And mind you guys, this is just on Monster Hunter Rise. I did play a little bit of Elden Ring the other day, just barely the start a new character file just to see how it would perform. And with that PC and my current gaming PC, with both PCs, Elden Ring still suffers from stutters, and it just reminds me that such a wonderful game, an amazing game, that the PC port just has some issues and it's just some stuttering. It's mind-boggling how that happens. I'm hoping that FromSoft gets their S together. That way, the next time it comes to bringing Armored Core 6, when that finally comes out, you know, it coming to PC isn't an afterthought, and it's actually up there, with in mind with the release of consoles for the performance of it, right? Speaking of performance, guys, what's y'all's thoughts on all the recent games that's been coming out? I know I might have spoken about Forspoken. Um, really not really optimized for PC gamings. For PC settings. What about Hogwarts Legacy? The Harry Potter game. You guys interested in that? Y'all playing that right now? I know it has a lot of discussion, and I want to say maybe even controversy surrounding the game. I know a lot of people, when it first came out, were talking about it. If you buy this game, you are supporting J.K. Rowling, who happens to be a massive transphobe. That's what some people are saying. Some people are saying just buy the game if you want to play the game. Honestly, guys, I have no intentions of playing the game, and that's not because I don't want to support J.K. Rowling. It's just I really just do not care about the game. I enjoyed Harry Potter when I was younger. I have read the books. I enjoyed them. I seen the movies. I also enjoyed them. But beyond the medium of literature, I don't care much for playing the games. I haven't even seen the latest set of movies that came out. I think it was called like Fantastic Beasts. I think I saw part of the first one, but I didn't it didn't catch me anymore. Like I said, I watched it when I was younger and I enjoyed it, but Now being older, Harry Potter is just that spot when I was a young adult when I read them and I enjoyed it. But other than that, I'm not interested in it nor the games. But yeah, I know the games has been, aside from that controversy with the author and everything, and that's going to be up to you guys to decide whether you. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you want to buy something, you can buy something, whatever. I mean, if you really think not purchasing the game is gonna hurt her wallet book, you're you're lying to yourself, because she's gonna be fine. Okay. Well, and if you are playing the game, look, hey, enjoy it. Go team Hufflepuff or something, whatever. um but yeah, I'm not interested in the game. It's fine. I'll probably watch my friends play it. I'll probably hear what they have to say about it, whether and if I am interested in the game, it will be on the performance side of it, how it works, how it functions, and on the console side, how it functions on what, even on the console side, right? You want to know how's it going to work on the current gen systems, PS5, Xbox Series X, and then how does it perform on last gen, previous gen, right? Their PS4, Xbox One, and then on the PC side, how's that going to work, right? Because apparently, it looks like it's causing some issues for some PC players, and it's ironic. It's ironic how, a lot of PC players will say, oh, PC master race, right? But then, the games come out and you're getting like, the game's preferred settings. You have a 2070, and you have like 9 frames per second. Like, ooh, not so good for the PCMR, right? I mean, look, guys, I've been converted. I've seen the light. I was always exclusive console, and it wasn't until I got my PC where I've completely changed. And the only time I play the console is if there's an exclusive that I just cannot get on Steam. So I mean, I'm up there. It sucks when you have a game that you're highly anticipated, and your platform of choice is Steam, and then you find out that it's just not really properly optimized for it. It's upsetting. It's frustrating, right? Because I'm sure, look, and I'm sure, there's some of y'all who have just awesome, amazing, expensive rigs that are optimized and OC'd and ready to go. And then sometimes, or maybe, you have a nice budget build, a nice, middle of the pack, nothing too crazy. It could play a lot of things. You probably have, a 1660. Maybe you're still, or maybe you just upgraded to like a 3060 or something. Or like my latest PC, I'm rocking a freaking AMD GPU, 6650 XT. And so far, like I said, no issues. But it just sucks that you have a nice rig, or a nice, middle of the pack rig, and then it's just not optimized for your PC. That's just unfortunate, right? You guys think that's something that developers need to focus more on? And I've brought this up before, right? Where some developers have announced that they want to have PC up there with the console releases. I think Capcom has spoken about it recently, where they in regards to their games coming on PC, they want it to be as good quality, or if not better, or like they're focusing on PC to be as one of the main platforms for their games to come out, which I'm excited for. I might have harped on this before already, guys, but when I played Resident Evil 8, when I played Monster Hunter, a lot of the settings, when you go to the display settings, they'll give you little, they'll let you know how much of the RAM from your GPU you're using, and how much of the settings, how much they affect your performance and stuff. And I'm glad Capcom is doing that. I want to see other companies do that also, notably Square Enix. I know with Forspoken coming out recently, it wasn't optimized for the PC, which is very unfortunate. And especially now, with because the only games I'm excited for from Square Enix is Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake Chapter 2, whatever it is. But I really want to get those games on PC. That's gonna be my preferred platform of choice. But it's also gonna depend on how well it's gonna run on that platform. So that's gonna be something that's gonna give me some hesitancy to want to purchase these games day one. So if anything, I might have to just have some be reserved about buying these games right away, and look and wait around till I see some reviews. Not only just gaming reviews from other outlets. And of course, that's going to vary per your mileage may vary on that because depending on who you look at, some of these guys are biased. Some of these guys have different opinions. It is what it is, and it's also going to come down to uh, digital foundry. I've been looking at those guys a lot to just give me just straight up numbers when it comes to the how well a game functions and performs on the PC platform, because at the end of the day, gaming is a very expensive hobby if you think about it, guys. With games starting to reach, it's not all of them, but it's becoming more of the zeitgeist, the more of the norm to have these games coming out at the $70 price range. Um, Case in point, if you guys watched the Nintendo Direct earlier today, I looked around and it looks like Nintendo will be having the, what do we call it, guys? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to call it Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, straight up, that's what it is. But they already have it listed at 69.99 USD. So I mean, even Nintendo isn't afraid. I mean, they know when they have a chance. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, it's almost par for the course for Nintendo. They know they have Legend of Zelda is one of their biggest IP. It's right up there with Super Mario. It's right up there with Donkey Kong. It's right up there with Metroid. So they can get away with getting paying 69.99. And unfortunately, Nintendo, they don't really put much of their games, their first party games, on discount. Not that I can recall. I mean, maybe stuff that doesn't sell well, you might see some of that stuff, or stuff that they licensed out to other developers, like Mario plus Rabbids, Star of Hope. Was it Star of Hope or Spark of Hope? I know you see that one sometimes goes on sale sometimes, but that's not from Nintendo. It was kind of more of a like Nintendo lets Ubisoft use their stuff, their IP to make a game. So yeah, with games, hitting, and that's just the games, guys, right? Hitting at not being shy about reaching that $70 price point, and of course some games will have character passes, expansion passes, battle passes, right? And then just even the fact of just do you want to play this game on your console? I mean, just getting a console now, I mean, if I mean the PlayStation 5s are more available now. You go walk into a brick and mortar store and get them, but even then you're looking at what, 5.99, 4.99. And then you're looking, if you want to get a PC. I mean, PC, that's going to range for it's going to be on your budget, so that's going to it's probably going to be more than PlayStation 5, but you get a lot more out of it. So I mean, like I said, just video games as overall are just more expensive. So you really have to you I would suggest, me personally, because I don't want to tell everybody what. I mean, I try not to, right? 'Cause sometimes I start ranting and raving. I just start sounding like a freaking, like I'm ruling with an iron fist and shit. It's just because I love video games, and it's my hobby. But I don't want to be the guy to tell you what to do. Of course, I'm not. But or judge. But you just gotta be smart with your money. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are a business. What speaks to them is money. If they don't have it, they're going to change. They're going to do something different. Um, I mean, I think that's the best way to look at it, guys. So let's get into some of the video game news, guys, that I've jotted down over the stuff. I did have some stuff from last week that I want to talk about. I just want to talk about a few things. That I didn't have time for, but one of the biggest things I bring up sometimes is the NPD reports, the National Purchase Diary. I heard about them when I used to listen to another podcast, to the Easy Allies. They brought it up there, and I always thought it was interesting, and that's something I integrated when I was with my friend Ruben on his podcast, Option Select, and now when my podcast, I like to bring it up because I like the numbers. I think it's something interesting to have because it gives you, just to give you like a lay of the land of how the video games are selling, what's expected, and just where everything is at. But overall, for the top selling games according to NPD for the year of 2022. It's going to be no surprise, guys. Best selling game of 2022. Guess. No, guess again. You're wrong. No, yep. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm not surprised. Elden Ring started off super strong, did well, we did wonderful. It was something, I mean, it brought it did something, it did really well for FromSoft. It was well received across the whole board. Some people had critiques about it. Fair, the game isn't perfect. I love the game, but I could still give you my critiques and some things they could work on. But it sold really well, really well, really well. But you cannot underestimate the fandom, the loyalty of the little Zoomers, and the fact that they're going to buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare, even though it was the same game was released the year before, just under a different moniker and different facade as Call of Duty. Was it Vanguard? Was it called that one? The one where you play as a chick in canceled. The one you play as a female protagonist during the World War II. That one, yeah. And then the one before that one, Black Ops 5. And then before that one, Modern Warfare 1. I mean, let's look at the trend here, guys. But look, not surprising, Call of Duty, and rightfully so, right? I mean, and they got the Warzone 2 coming out. Of course, it's not really it's its own separate thing, but hell, you want to be part of the ecosystem, right? Maybe you're tired of playing BRs, you want to play some multiplayer. Well, here it is, play it. So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the best-selling game of 2022, followed by Elden Ring, I should say. Sorry. Madden NFL 2023. God of War Ragnarok took number 4, which is pretty impressive because the game came out in. When did the game come out, guys? Was it October? November? But let's just say it did come out in October. October, November, December. In 3 months, it was able to get number 4 spot for the most selling game for 2022. It's pretty impressive. I mean, God of War Ragnarok. I mean, and I'll say it, guys. I did play the 2018 version. It wasn't my favorite game. It wasn't the worst game. It had some things that Studio Santa Monica did well. There were some parts that I felt like it was lacking, but it was still a fun game to play. Ragnarok, I didn't play it at all. I felt like it felt like it just didn't interest me at all. I felt like they were trying to be cater too much to the current scene, and that's fine. That's gonna be subjective. Some people don't care, some people do, whatever. Me personally, I played the 2018 version. I'm fine, but yeah, God of War. Ever since the re-imaging and reinventation, is that a word? We'll go with the word. We'll make it a word. Of what they did with Kratos, I think that did really well for the franchise to revitalize it, and so I'm not surprised God of War Ragnarok, sorry, did that well because I mean, at the end of the day, I'll give it to Sony when it comes to the polish and the production. They got it. And then at number 5, we had Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. So yeah, those were the top selling games for 2022. Um, Elden Ring did good, but Call of Duty, you cannot count it out at all because those don't do well. Some of the couple things I want to talk about, guys. Oh, did you guys see the Nintendo Direct today? I did see a little bit of it when I came home for lunch today. I put it on. It was I want to say like 40-45 minutes of trailers and stuff. Stuff that I was interested in. A lot of stuff that I wasn't interested in. Honestly, guys, just looking at it, there was 3 titles that I cared for. Octopath Traveler 2. I'm excited for it. I enjoyed the first one. Again, it needed to be, in my opinion, quad path quad path traveler. It should have just like been 4 characters and have more interactions. I think with 8 of them was too many. But again, depending on which character you pick, the way you recruit them is going to differ. So you might not have this character with that character, so there might not be some interactions yet until you have all of them later. So I understand why some of the interactions were lacking, but at the end of the day, it was still very much it was a modern day JRPG that even had the aesthetics with the modern looks of today's graphics. And I enjoyed it very much. So when I found out Octopath Traveler 2 was happening, I've been keeping my ear to the ground, and it's coming out soon, guys. So they talked about that one. And they said that it is also available for on the Nintendo eShop. A demo is available. So it's probably going to be like the first game where you could probably play the first 2 hours, and then once you purchase the game, if you choose to do so, your progress from that demo will be carried over to your new game, to the game that you purchased. So I like that. I like that when companies do that. We're like, hey, here's a demo, try it out. Hey, if you want, we'll save your progress. That way, all this work you put in will carry over. I think that's wonderful. I like that, and I'm excited for it, guys. I already downloaded it on my Switch. I'll be playing that. And now the $1 million question becomes, when do I play it, right? Because I want to play that. And I also want to play Fire Emblem. And then on Fire Emblem, oh, and oh no, backtrack. Okay, I want to play Fire Emblem Engage, and then I still have another story in Fire Emblem Three Houses that I want to finish. So I mean, on the Switch, I need two of me to get just to get the backlog on the Switch games, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm glad that the demo's there. I will get it eventually, so I'm excited for that. Also, the other game I was excited for, and this one I've been keeping on my radar for a good while now, is Sea of Stars. It looks very, again, very the pixelated art from way back when. It looks like combat happens right there on the map, very much like Chrono Trigger. So I'm excited for it. Even just the sounds. It even has the retro SNES music playing. So I'm excited for that. Just a freaking wave of nostalgia. And guys, I've said this 100,000 times already, but in my opinion, pixelated art just ages so well. It looks wonderful. I think it does. I'm excited for it, and I can't wait. And then, of course, I mentioned earlier, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm excited for that one. I know some people might say, "Well, it looks like it's just the same world, but now you're in the sky." You're like, you know what? You know what? Breath of the Wild did so many good things right, so many things right, so much fun that I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm fine. Now this one, I will admit, guys, I don't think I'm gonna get it day one. I don't think I will. It doesn't come out till May, so we still have a couple of months before then. But it just feels like at the $70 price range, I do want to play this game, but it doesn't feel like I have to play it right away. I feel like I could just wait, and I'm not waiting for it to go on sale because, like, again, I don't think it will go on sale anytime soon. Even during the holidays, I doubt it will go on sale. But it just feels like it's such a wonderful, huge, so much to do in the Breath of the Wild games that I'm sure this one's gonna be just the same. Like, I don't want to rush through it, especially with in right after May, in June, I'm gonna have Street Fighter 6 coming out, and what else? Then in March we have Resident Evil 4 remake coming out. I mean, there's gonna be lots of games already. I'm at the point now, and it really hit me when Persona 3 and 4 came out for the Switch because I was so excited to play these games. But then it turns out, like, when am I going to play these games? I just do not have time to just buy everything I want. And the thing is, you don't have to buy everything right away. You can wait. You can wait because these games are not going to go away anytime soon. Now, is it possible they could just say, hey, you know what? We're going to take them off the stores. We're not going to sell them anymore. That is very possible, but it'll probably be somewhere down the road. I doubt Atlas will say, Persona 3 and 4 are not available for store anymore. I doubt that will happen. But, and I'm not saying that I won't ever play Breath of the Wild. I will. It's just I'm not in a rush to get a day one because eventually I will play that game. So honestly, yeah, guys, out of that whole Nintendo Direct, there was only those three things I was excited about. They had some other stuff, and again, guys, there's some things that maybe might be up your alley that you might enjoy. But for me, when I saw that, it was just those three. Um, let's talk about. Let's shift gears. Let's talk to my favorite about my favorite company, Square Enix. They're not my favorite. They used to be my favorite. Square used to be my favorite. Square Soft. Square Enix, not so much. But there was a message from the developers of Forspoken, and I'm paraphrasing here, guys. But they were basically saying that they're getting patches to improve the performance, graphics, and playability of their game, which that almost speaks volumes of how this game kind of just came out. Nobody was really. I mean, I haven't and I'll be fair, guys. I haven't talked to many people about this game, so I don't have my pulse on my fingers on the pulse on this game. But it doesn't feel like it was well received. At best, a very average game. No one's really talking about it. Um, but it's funny that in the same time frame, is it? I think Hi-Fi Rush came out, and I think I read somewhere that Hi-Fi Rush did just amazing in sales, even though being a game that's available on the Xbox Game Pass subscription. Even with being available on that side of the platform, I believe they said the sales from Steam were still incredible. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have that game on my wish list for Steam. I'm just waiting for it to go on a nice sale, and I probably will be picking that up because I think that's a good change of pace. I think having it almost feels like we're just bombarded and rushed and constantly being hit over the head with these AAA games that aren't coming out ready or developed, or they feel rushed, and they come out, and then we as a consumer have to be the guinea pigs and play test their games. And I don't know when that started changing. I want to say if it did, it was at least during the PS3/360 era, when the internet started becoming more like games started coming out more, and they were able to patch things through to fix the games up. Because back in the day, guys, I know I'm a boomer when I say back in the day, right? Back in the day, guys, when a game shipped out, that's it. That was the game. With bugs or bugs, flaws, or whatever. I mean, that was the game, and you just had to hold all that. Now it feels like the developers, if they don't have time, they can release the game and then patch it day one, two, three, or along the road. And I mean, I'm not saying necessarily that's a bad thing. It still puts the product out on the people's hands. But the thing is, guys, it's comes to the point to, and again, this is all my point of view, right? This is the way I'm looking at it. It just feels like it's these guys. They just can't keep, like my friend Via says, they just can't keep getting away with this. Because it's now becoming again the norm, the mentality, the it's okay for us to put a game out and then we'll eventually fix it or and stuff like that, and that's not right. Especially like I said, going back to how expensive this hobby is, when you're spending $70 for just an average game or a game that doesn't really perform or just has just is lacking, like that. How is that right? It's not. It's not right. And I get it, man. Like I'm sure the developers are under a tremendous amount of crunch, a tremendous amount of stress to get the game out, and they have deadlines to meet, and they got their bosses who have their bosses who have shareholders. But I think, guys, I think that's a symptom of what the industry is now. Ever since it became, I mean, these games are getting big and big and big, and we've talked about it a million times before, right? I mean, they're having development teams that range anywhere between 500 to 1,000 members, and then trying to get all that online, and it just gets insane. But I think we just gotta remember, guys, we just can't. And again, guys, I'm not here to tell you what to spend your money, but we shouldn't reward this sort of behavior by just rushing out and buying things. I think we should wait more And it's hard. It's easier said than done, right? And I've been there before, guys. There's some games I'm just super excited for, not by day one. But I'm trying. I really am trying to just hold back, be more reserved, be more. Let's see how this game performs, how it's doing actually, before we just give them the money. Because again, money talks, guys. And these games are, and these a lot of these companies are just treating it as the business. And like I said, I think that everything that we're getting now with just day one releases or releases and then having day one patches, this is a symptom because games are now just treated as a business, right? And we all know video games is huge. It's huge whether you have PC, console, mobile. It's just so massive, and there's so much money to be made. And again, that's where the game starts to hurt because it should be treated as a game that people want to have fun and enjoy, not have to worry about, is this game going to work properly on my platform of choice. That shouldn't be the issue. So I think that's something we should look out for, guys, and just think about more. It's just and it's hard, right? Because you want to play some game that you're just excited for, you want to get in there, but we need to just kind of wait and speak with our wallets, because that's what's gonna hurt them the most. That's I take that back. That's what they're going to respond to the most. I'm not here to hurt anybody, right? That's what they're going to respond to first, guys. And I think it and I think it shows, guys, exactly with this message coming out from developers from Forspoken, that they're listening to the crowd, and hopefully they'll get their S together and do things right, because it shouldn't be, and we've had experience about this before. We've seen games, a really bad one, Battlefield 2042, right? I mean, that game just launched. It was terrible. Cyberpunk 2077, that launched terrible. I mean, No Man's Sky, I mean, launched. It was terrible. It's just, and look, if the developer keeps going on to support it and make the game better, that's all for it. But how often does that happen? Not all of them do that. You mean, credit due to the guys that actually do support. Look, CD Projekt Red was able to little by little get the game up and running and performing. The developers at, and it escapes my mind right now, guys, but the developers at for No Man's Sky, they've been working hard to keep the game, a much better experience from where it was when it launched. So, kudos to those guys, keeping it up. But I mean, for every one of them, how many other developers out there that don't do that? So, I mean, just be prepared, guys. Anything else we want to talk about, guys? Oh, really quick before we wrap it up. I know some of my Discord buddies have been excited for a game called Atomic Hearts. And look, I'm just skimming through Reddit, looking at some headlines and stuff. But looking at one of the headlines, it says that Atomic Heart has de novo. Dev claims DLSS will compensate for potential performance problems. Now, I think this is another issue, or another problem, like I mentioned earlier, where developers feel, and mind you, guys, I'm not a developer, so I don't want to throw shade at them, because I don't know what it feels like to be in their shoes. And at the end of the day, right, it's probably the business model, or the higher ups that want to push the game out to meet certain deadlines for their shareholders. But I don't think that's the mentality to have. To, okay, we'll ship the game out, and then hopefully we'll have a proprietary system from NVIDIA to make the game have better performance. And DLSS, guys, I wrote it down, guys. Deep learning super sampling. It's basically the TLDR is it's a proprietary NVIDIA feature for their products that uses AI to basically make the frames better. Due to where the game might be starting on some frames, it uses the AI from DLSS in the GPU just to make the frames a higher quality. It doesn't make them like, you could still see some things here and there, but for the most part, kind of just evens things out to make it better performance. Now, mind you, I have been an NVIDIA RTX 3090 in my main PC. Nice, not too bad. I also have an AMD RX 6650 on my other PC. I mean, I know NVIDIA has most I know people have more Nvidia cards than AMD cards, but those people that have AMD cards, like, what is it supposed to do for them? Because if that's the mentality you're gonna be, going with, a fraction of your player base might be screwed. But again, guys, it all comes down to how these developers optimizing for PC. That's gonna just come down to developer. And again, guys, just you gotta be diligent. Do your due diligence, right? Keep a lookout. Look at like reviewers like Digital Foundry. I know I'll keep plugging them, but they do. I'm not sure there's others out there, but these guys do excellent work when it comes to the performance, when it comes to the ports or to stuff on consoles and PCs. But keep looking out for stuff like that, guys. Remember, your wallet, your money carries a lot when it comes to these businesses, and I think we should just start taking a step back. And the developers of Hi-Fi Rush, I don't know their names right now, guys. I missed it. But games like that where they're from smaller companies, but they did a really good game. That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to play that game. It looks really good. But anyways, guys, we are reaching the 45-minute mark. I'm trying to keep these episodes at around that range. So there's still more stuff that I've written down, but you know what? It's I like I like taking paper notes, guys. I really do. I love taking paper notes because I can write it down, look at it. It's almost like a journal too of what's going on. I could write down things that I didn't use this week. I could save it and can come back and use it for the next week, and vice versa and stuff like that, guys. So, anyways, guys, I think that's it for today. We talked about some stuff, the Nintendo Direct, some games that we're looking forward to, some games that we've been playing, guys. I would like to hear your feedback. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, anything, guys, hit me up on Twitter at OS_R1ZK. Or you could jump in the Discord, or if you really want to just hang out and goof off with me playing video games, jump on the freaking stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/OS_R1CK. I try to stream at least 3 to 4 times a week in the evenings, whether it's fighting games, single player games. It's all over the board. I do plan on streaming some Resident Evil 2 pretty soon, guys, just so I could get ready for Resident Evil 4. But anyways, guys, if you guys want to also help the show, you could tell your friends. Word of mouth is always free. You can always retweet, and likes and subscribes are always free. If you want to do a donation, that would be much appreciated, but do not feel obligated, guys. I know there's, money is hard. We all have things that we want to pay, but my goal is with this podcast, guys, is just to make it self-sustained. I just want it to cover itself. I'm not trying to eat off of it. I'm not trying to keep the lights on for it. I'm not trying to pay my mortgage off of it. I'm not. I have real expectations. All I want to do is have it self-sustained. But guys, yeah, if you want to help, I would appreciate it. Always drop by. I'm always down for constructive criticism or even some discussions. And look, I'm just one person that enjoys video games. You're your own person. You have different views, different biases, and that's perfectly fine because at the end of the day, guys, we love video games. And that's why we're talking about it. That's why you're listening. And that's why we're here, and just to have a good time. Anyways, guys, that's it from me. I'm done. Enjoy the rest of your week. Get some rest. Have a good time. Play some video games. And I will see y'all next week. Bye, guys. I love you. Adios.